Alright, so this is episode 11, Stella. I wonder if Anya will get her first Stella star in this episode. We'll just have to see. But a little bit of a recap. We had the great dodgeball plan where the kids of whatever class Anya's in, is it class 3? They were off against class 4, and apparently some kids in class 7 was telling them, the kids of class 3 and 4, that by being the MVP of the dodgeball tournament, they would get a Stella Stars, and by the end, we found out that they were all they've all been duped, and that just by being the MVP of this mini game, you weren't going to get any, you weren't going to get any Stella Stars. But we did get to meet a new character. His name is Bill Watkins, and he's a very built boy despite only being in kindergarten. But we saw his dad and how big that man is, so it's most likely just genetics, but also it's most likely what he is eating as well. I mean, I assume his dad is also on quite the diet. But I do have my full-length reaction up on Patreon, which you guys can check out in the description down below. Other than that, let us get started. Alright, so that was episode 11 of Spy X Family. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. In the first half, we got to see Lloyd going through his own little struggles of trying to get Anya to study and try to fill the expectation of Wise, which is to get Anya 8 Stella Stars within 4 months. And, you know, before when he had talked about with Sylvia about it, he's just kind of like, yeah, I don't really think she's going to get that, but I do believe she'll get 8 boats in like 2 months instead. So he's trying his best, you know, and it seems like he's still going about on trying to figure out what will get Anya motivated and what will get Anya to, you know, actually study. And I was thinking, like, maybe at the very least you can incorporate it with the cartoons, but then again, if you try to do that, maybe she might end up finding the cartoon not entertaining anymore because it makes her think of studying. I don't know, you know, just try to do things that will get her motivated. But, you know, maybe getting a dog will get her motivated for world peace. But he was thinking of another way to get Stella Stars, which was through community service. And if Anya does well for community service, especially if she does it on a long-term basis, she will end up getting Stella Stars, although I wonder if that would actually just community service alone would get her 8 Stella Stars within 4 months. You never, you would know. But we also had this discussion for getting good grades on tests, because Anya had, since both Lloyd and Anya were thinking of getting Stella Stars through high scores via underhanded achievements, and we can see that Anya is albeit she had the idea of listening to other people's thoughts to cheat before, you know, she is starting to learn all these underhanded methods through Lloyd, which is just fantastic. But she was thinking that she gotta figure out which subject kids are good, the kids in her class are good at, so then if she's doing certain tests, she can mind read through them and figure out what they're doing, so then she can score high. But then she also hears from Lloyd that if she gets 100 in every test, all of the sudden people will hate her, or in Lloyd's case, people will get suspicious, which is understandable. You know, you've got this kid who's failing all these tests, and then suddenly the next test she's winning. she's winning these tests and she's getting great scores. Of course they're going to assume that you're cheating somehow. And honestly, the one way for them to do it is to just get her in like a room all alone, you know, especially with a teacher who's not looking at the test, and like immediately she'll fail after that. So that's why you gotta make it gradual, Anya. I remember in my PE class we used to have a mile test every other month or so, in order to, you know, for your grades and all that. And I remember my method of doing the mild tests was doing the worst that I can in the beginning of the year and gradually getting better every, I don't know, every 10 seconds or so, because what the PE class, what the test counted for is, as long as you improve, you are getting an A in the mile test. So I got like the worst grade as possible. So like one of the worst grades you can probably get for like a mile is like 14 or 13 minutes, probably around 13 minutes. So like I just kept improving throughout the years, by like a few seconds, and that's how I fucking passed my PE test. Gotta do it gradually, you can't just go from 0 to 100 real quick, because that is, honestly, once you get to 100, you have to maintain at 100. Too much effort, man, too much effort. Anyways, we saw during the community service that Anya is just terrible at everything. I mean, we should have expected it since we've been seeing her work ethic before. So she's just been absolute shite, and she's got the nurses up to the point where they end up kicking her out because she's just horrible. She's not helping at all. She's not really giving any service to the community at this point. But it seems that when a kid is drowning, even when that kid is like far away, the fact that he's having these like negative thoughts, these thoughts of that he's going to die, it seems like Anya's somehow able to hear it despite this not big, but despite the distance in between them. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, would Anya, if she focused hard enough, if she's able to hone her power a lot more, would she be able to just direct her power at like anybody within like the building or anything like that? It kind of makes me wonder, if Anya's not good at anything, might as well do the thing that you're able to do, which is read other people's mind, learn how to control your power is a whole lot better. But she ends up going to the pool and she tries to save the boy, albeit she doesn't save the boy and she was about to drown herself, but Lloyd comes in to save her. But since she was attempting to save the boy, she gets the Stella stars anyways, because A for effort, am I right? A for effort. And man, dude, her ego inflated after that. Holy shit. She's like, don't call me Anya, call me Starlight Anya. But I'm glad that the kids in her classroom were poking holes in that inflated ego of hers, because they know that she's this violent kid, so they just assume that she's cheating, or she probably pushed that kid in and then pretended to help him in order to get the Stella stars. But then they were trying to rope Damian into this shit talk that they were having, but Damian ends up defending Anya, and perhaps that has given Anya a different light on Damian at the very least. And it's nice, despite Damian not liking Anya, he doesn't go the low route, he doesn't go for the low hits or anything like that. Instead, he's just like, I'm mad that she did it without cheating or anything, so like I'm pissed at that. But I'm not gonna go and say that she cheated or anything, because I know she didn't. So I really like that for Damian, despite us not really seeing too much of Damian. And then with the talks with Becky, who says, hey, what do you want for your reward? And so this whole talk ends up leading to Anya wanting to get a dog, because apparently getting a dog will lead to world peace, since the other plan that she had before, which was getting the Stella star, will probably get Damian to want to become friends with her, and then that would have lead to world peace. But since that didn't work, perhaps getting a dog will lead to world peace. And we got to see just a little glimpse of the dog that is potentially the dog that they're going to get, whether they like it or not. But it seems like it's a dog with a dog that looks quite dirty. I don't know. They do have bad living conditions, but this dog seems to have like black paws on it, like, and it's like you can't really see its face, but you see that it's got white furs. And also I can't really see anything in the freaking darkness because my glasses are dirty yet again, and the lights are just shining against the dirty ass glasses, so I can't see anything. Okay, so you can see a little bit of the doggo. It's still in the darkness for the most part. But as that dog was laying, it had a vision of Anya and her family. So, I wonder. But, yeah, saw the preview. Perhaps we might not see Doggo next episode. Who knows? Maybe we will, but it seems like they're going to Penguin Park in the next episode, so... again, I assume we might see Doggo in the second part, if this is a 12-slot episode. I think it's a 12-slot episode, right? This is a 24-episode anime, so part 2 is coming whenever that's coming, but... Okay. If I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys when I see you guys.